Hey everyone, welcome back to Homestead Corner. Today I want to talk about the importance of a get-home bag. I am headed out on a road trip next weekend to meet up with my sister and hang out for the weekend. I figured I would go through my get-home bag to make sure that everything is in there for the type of weather, because the season is changing and we want to make sure that we have everything we need. So I thought right now would be a great time to just go over the importance of a get-home bag. We really need to make sure we have something in the car. If we have to leave our vehicle, we keep an emergency kit in the vehicle, but we also keep a get-home bag. So if I have got to just grab the bag and go, I'm ready to do that. There is not always going to be someone there to help you. If you have an accident, breakdowns, disaster, a weather emergency come in, an EMP, anything like that. Sometimes you are not going to want to wait around and see how crazy people get. So making sure you have what you need to get yourself and anyone in your car back to your home safely is really important. And this bag, basically, if I gotta leave my car, this has got everything in it I'm gonna need to get myself home. Whether, it's a little redundant if I'm only an hour or two away, but if I'm a few states away, then I definitely wanna make sure that I have that. And you never know where life's gonna take you. We definitely land up in places we don't think we're going to be. So one of the first things that I look for in a get-home bag is I just want it to be a normal, plain, everyday bag. I don't want to draw any attention to it. Nobody needs to know what's in it. It's just a normal bag, looks like a regular old backpack. Easy to carry, and you want it to be pretty lightweight. You want to be able to take it, and if it's too heavy, you're not going to want to take it. So making sure that you have it as light as possible. So you can get what you need to get you home. Keeping your get-home bag as small and lightweight as possible is definitely your best option. And this is a lot more full than it normally is in the warmer months, because I have just added some cold weather gear to this to make sure that I'm going to be able to get through. If it snows or an ice storm, whatever happens, I'm going to have what I need to get me home. So this bag is definitely, there's not a lot of comforts in here, not a lot of stuff at all, really. This is survival to get you home, and that is it. I mean, you have your everyday carry stuff on you, but you want to make sure you have what you need in case you get stuck outside, anything like that. So to start off, the first two things I always make sure I have is 2 bottles of water. You want to make sure you can stay hydrated, definitely, and we keep a couple bottles of water in here. And there is also, when I get in here, there's a water filter in case it takes me longer than I expect it to take, or I'm further away than I had hoped to be. If I run out of water, I can find water and use a water filter. These little Sawyer minis can hook right onto a bottle, so you could squeeze it in your mouth, or you could definitely put the water in the bag, squeeze it so it's clean in the bottle and ready to drink. So a water filter and water are absolute must-haves in my opinion. And then there's just basic stuff in here. I've got a Mylar sleeping bag, bivy. It's pretty long, so I can completely cover up with it, keep the weather off me, anything like that. You want to make sure you've got something to keep you warm. I can cover up with it and keep warm, and it will help hold my heat. Just one of those regular Mylar sleeping bags. And then we also have a contractor trash bag. I love these contractor trash bags. They are nice and big, so it's almost as tall as I am. You can cut this open, make a shelter. You can put it underneath you as a barrier if the ground is, it's probably moist. So you want to have something to make sure that you can stay dry so you don't get chilled through. definitely. And we live in a pretty cold climate, so the winter time it gets a little rough. We want to make sure that we're able to stay warm and dry. The next thing, just emergency food bars. These are for patriots. I think these ones were lemon flavored. Yeah, lemon flavored. You can get them on Amazon or all sorts of places. These emergency food bars, they can handle the hot and cold temperatures in your car. So these are great to just keep in there, and you know you've got what you need. So not a lot of food, but it'll get me through a couple days. And if you know how to forage, that can be super helpful. Can help you go longer. So then I have just, for my cold weather gear, this is a thin jacket, but it's waterproof, it's windproof, all that stuff. So, and it's kind of big and loose, so I could put it on over another jacket. And I also keep a hat, gloves, and a fresh pair of dry socks inside, always. Those may be a little bit of a luxury, but dry socks are important to me. So that is all I have for clothing. And then you want to make sure you've got your first aid stuff. Just a small first aid kit. I don't have anything huge in here. Some hand sanitizer, bandages, triple antibacterial ointment in case I get cut. I could use a piece of my t-shirt to cover it, a sock, whatever. You can do whatever you have to. A little bit of toilet paper. These, I think these are at Walmart. They are just, it has no tube inside. It's just a little bit. We used to buy these for hiking and backpacking. These are wonderful. So you've got some good, clean, dry toilet paper. Hand wipes, I keep those in there. A little bit of chapstick. Some more hand sanitizer. And this is not a must-have, but I must have. Just toothbrush and toothpaste, something. If I had to be out there for a couple days and I couldn't brush my teeth, I'd be very upset. So that's my piece of comfort that I keep with me. You want to keep your teeth clean anyway. You want to keep yourself clean, but not everybody carries that in their bags, and that's okay. It is survival to get you there. All right, and then I've got a couple of chopsticks, not for eating, but I use them to put my hair up. Just quick and easy, hair's out of the way. Also, they would make great, self-defense if you have to. A knife, you want a decent fixed blade knife. Something with a full tang is always great. You want to make sure that it's going to be sturdy and it's going to get you through. If you have to cut branches, cut up some wood for a fire, anything like that, you want to make sure you've got a good fixed blade knife. That is a definite, something really solid. It doesn't have to be expensive, but solid. And then, of course, we have a small multi-tool in here. It's got a whole bunch of different stuff. Little pliers, a saw, a knife, screwdriver, fingernail file, all that stuff. And again, it does not have to be fancy. It has to be functional and solid. That's all that's really important. I know a lot of people go with the real high-end ones, and that's okay. If you can afford that, that's great. This is extra stuff that we keep for just, it's gonna take me 1, maybe 2 days to get home from somewhere, most likely, maybe 3 days, but this would get me there. It doesn't have to hold up forever, in my opinion. It has to hold up to get you home. I've got a compass in case of an emergency, a headlamp. I don't normally carry a flashlight because I love headlamps. Your hands free. You can still do whatever you have to do. You can lug things, you can work on things. If you had to change a tire or something, headlamp is way better than a flashlight, especially if you're alone. And just a little bit of Gorilla Tape. I love Gorilla Tape, so I try to keep that with me. And that's just a little bit left on a roll, but it could definitely come in handy if I had to make a tarp, if I ripped a hole in my pants, a hole in my shoe. You can duct tape them to fix them real quick to get you there. And then I've got a small battery bank and hand warmer. This is a Zippo. You can charge your phone with this because you want to be able to be in communication. You want to know what's going on, especially in emergency. And if you are trying to get home, hopefully you can be in communication with your family. Maybe they can come and get you, hopefully. That'd be awesome. But it will charge up your phones, keeps your hands warm. I love this thing. And just a tiny charging cable. Doesn't have to be long. More than likely, it'll be in my pocket charging while I'm walking. And fire starter. You want to make sure you can start a fire if you need to. I've got just a regular old lighter in here. Nothing fancy. A box of wooden matches. A couple of the SOL fire starters. You just peel these open, put a match to it. This will stay burning for about 10 minutes, so they are great to get a fire started. Even if the wood is kind of wet, you'll be able to start a fire. And also rope. I want to have rope in case I need to set up a tarp or anything like that. Hang my bag up in a tree. If you're deep in the woods, you may have to worry about animals if you have other types of food in there. So when we used to hike, we used to have to hang our bags up in the tree, so for bears and stuff like that. So it's nice to have rope for that. And also inside this rope there is, I'm not sure if you can see it, I'll put a picture up here, but there is a red line which is a fire starter. You just take it and you're going to fluff it out and you've got tinder to start a fire. It lights up really easy if you run out of these little things. This will work as well. So you've got rope and fire starter here, which is nice. And that is it for what we keep in our get home bag. This really, I mean, it's not even full. And if I took out the jacket, the hat, the gloves, it would definitely be a lot smaller. But with the cold weather coming, it is getting cooler and cooler here. We've already had a frost and we need to be prepared for that cold weather as well. In the summertime, it's a lot lighter. The only other thing that I would add, if you do not normally wear comfortable shoes, I'm all about sneakers. I'm sure you've noticed in my videos, but I love having comfortable shoes, boots or sneakers, something warm and toasty. But if you don't normally wear those, if you're normally at work in high heels or something like that, I would definitely put a pair of comfortable shoes in here. If you ever had to walk a good distance and you had to go off of the road, it would definitely be uncomfortable in high heels. So a get home bag really does not have to be big and huge. It's meant to survive and get you where you need to go. And that's it. That's all that needs to be in there. And, a little emergency blanket and some kind of tarp or plastic, or I love the contractor bags because they're so big and we keep them anyway. So just chuck one in all the bags. They make great tarps, barriers on the ground, things like that. It works out really nicely. And that's it for today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.